Welcome to Lesson 6 in Unit 19, Sensing Tsunamis. In this lesson, students will work to answer the question, how can we use high-tech devices to communicate a warning more quickly? In this lesson, students explore computer coding and the transmission of digitized information using Scratch. Students figure out that computers can be coded to digitize and decode information and send it long distances without it being degraded. Students make connections to the storyline by considering how computers might be coded to send tsunami warning messages to people. There are several opportunities for ELA cross-curricular connections throughout the lesson. You can look for specific standard connections in the Unit 19 Teacher Guide. This lesson will take approximately 3 to 4 days to complete. For the Engage portion, you'll remind students that, in the last lesson, they learned about Morse code and communicating messages across long distances. You'll ask them what challenges Morse code may pose and what questions they have. You'll revisit the driving question board, add in any new questions, and highlight any other ones connected to the learning goals of this lesson by calling attention to questions about how we can warn people about tsunamis more quickly, or how we can use more advanced technology to warn people. For the Explore portion, students will access online coding tutorials and practice. If you are unfamiliar with computer coding, we recommend practicing yourself before sharing this activity with your students. Complete the Introduction to Coding student journal pages and practice going through the Explain section as well. Doing both of these ahead of time will help you feel more comfortable supporting students through the lesson. You'll divide students into pairs and have them use the Introduction to Coding student journal page and review the instructions together. Students will complete a coding activity using the instructions on the journal page. In the Explain portion of the lesson, students will engage in a class discussion. You'll invite them to gather and analyze their observations from the activity. You'll use the provided questions to guide the discussion around how can we use high-tech devices to communicate a warning more quickly. The goal of this class discussion is to have students share their initial learning about computer coding. You will use the discussion to create the Lesson 6 summary chart. From the discussion, students should understand that we can make a tsunami warning that people could easily understand with pictures and sounds that could be sent directly to computers or cell phones. To continue the Explain portion of the lesson, you'll use the curriculum slides to review how code blocks can be used to make certain things happen. You will demonstrate this activity for students. They can follow along on their own devices. We strongly suggest practicing the steps prior to class. You'll go to the Stormy Science Starter Code page and follow the instructions to demonstrate to students how to create code. You can post and discuss the block set and costume vocabulary cards. You'll then have students watch a video about coding and digitized information. Afterward, you can post and discuss the coding, computer program, and digitized information vocabulary cards. For the Elaborate portion, you'll revisit the Tsunami Warning System video and ask students if they think sending a tsunami warning using Morse code or a computer message would work better. You'll show students the physics behind texting video and discuss how cell phones work and how they can be used to communicate warnings. For the Evaluate portion, you'll have students do the Coding Quick Check student journal page. To support student sense-making across the unit, orient them back to the driving question board. Ask students, what did we learn about coding and how we can use high-tech devices to communicate a warning more quickly? And what new questions do we have? By the end of this lesson, students will have used computers to explain how information can be transmitted over long distances and decoded. In Lesson 7, Students will use the microbit and Scratch to code a tsunami warning. For more information about this unit, visit mysitepartners.com.